I'm emphasizing that there is nothing to be changed there, nothing to be transformed there. And yet, you see, you want to bring about a change in you. I wanted to find out for myself if there is any such thing as enlightenment. You can call me a fraud if you are interested in, or a cynic, or a nihilist, any one of those phrases. It's your problem because of your difficulty to fit me into those frameworks. I am not a guru. I am not selling you anything, you see. I am not selling anything. I am not in the marketplace. I am not carrying on a holy business. How can you call me a fraud? I have stumbled into a situation where I have discovered that there is nothing there to be transformed. I don't see any difference between the spiritual and material. First of all, that's where we make this fundamental mistake of separating the two and placing the spiritual pursuit on a higher level. So, I always emphasize that your spiritual achievements are no different from the material achievements because you use the same instrument to achieve your spiritual goals.
There's a lot of concern about the world conditions and things that threaten survival of humanity and other species.
So, belief in God is an extension of the survival mechanism. Belief in political ideology is an extension of the survival mechanism. So, where do you draw the line of demarcation?
When you're actually threatened with something, you act, you don't ask.
You don't know how you will act, you see. And all this will not come to your aid. You can think, plan, scheme, but when once you see you are confronted with a situation, the thinking stops.
Do you think, Yuji, that all these people who are on the merry-go-round of seeking spiritual ideas, do you think there's any value in coming into contact with a man like you?
Like me?
Yeah.
No.
Pardon?
No.
No value?
Emphatic no.
Not to enhance their search,
Yes.
but maybe clarify why they're on this merry-go-round.
No, you put yourself on the merry-go-round because you are trying to relate what I am saying to the way you are functioning. So, naturally, you see, that demands a change in you. You want to change yourself into something. I am emphasizing that there is nothing to be changed there, nothing to be transformed there. And yet, you see, you want to bring about a change in you. So the instrument that is there has come into being in time. It has taken so many years and so many experiences, and that is what you are. And so you cannot conceive of the possibility of anything happening outside that framework.
You know, people often have referred to you as an enlightened being, and I know you're very uncomfortable with that. In fact, you told me earlier you're uncomfortable with the concept of being at all.
Yes. You see, the question arises only in relationship with becoming. And enlightenment is also becoming, you see. So, I would go one step further and say that the human mind, if I may use that word, quote and unquote, is interested only in sensual activity. You know, the living organism or the human body, or whatever you want to call it, is only responding to the stimuli. It is not interested in pleasure at all. See, the moment you use thought to experience anything in terms of pleasure, it becomes a pain for this body.
And yet we pursue sensuality and yet find only pain in it.
But we love pain, in other words, and we enjoy pain and call it pleasure. You see, the human body is not interested in pleasure of any kind. It is only interested in maintaining the sensitivity of the nervous system and the sensitivity of the functioning of the body. So the moment you say a particular sensation is a pleasurable sensation, the demand to make it last longer goes with it. So then the demand to make the pleasure last longer turns what we call pleasure into pain, and that's a painful sensation to the body. The body is trying to be rid of that pleasurable sensation, and what we are stuck with is pain.
It almost sounds as if the greater the pleasure, then the greater the pain must be.
We have introduced the degree into that what is called pleasure, you see, because the thought is always interested in more and more of something and less of the other. I am not saying anything against pleasure. See, the moment you use thought as an instrument to have pleasure, we have there created a problem. Since man has realized, since I don't like to use the word man or a human being or in general terms, the average man, see that man is you and I sitting here. So, since this demand for permanent happiness is something which cannot be achieved through anything, any thinking that is open to us, we have projected and created what is called enlightenment, God, self-realization, call it by whatever name you like. So that is the ultimate pleasure.
There are stories out of India, you've probably heard, of great saints who are supposedly in states of perpetual sexual orgasm.
That is what these gurus are selling in the marketplace today. You see, even sex is something that the body does not care for. It's a painful thing, and that is necessary for only one purpose, to reproduce one like that. The living organism is interested only two things: it's a survival and then it's a reproduction. So when once the thought is involved in turning sex into pleasure, we have created a problem. It is the same thought that makes you feel that, you see, the pleasure, you see, can be extended into one of degree, into longer and longer time, and then you see keep it going, and so it is more painful to this body.
You almost sound Victorian in your approach here.
I am not Victorian. The sex is totally unrelated to the question of enlightenment. You see, whether it has become fashionable these days for all these people to market sex as the means or the stepping stones to enlightenment. But actually and factually, the sex is totally unrelated to what is called enlightenment. Whether you deny yourself sex or indulge in sex, it is of no importance to what you are searching for. But in a culture where, you see, the denial of sex is maintained as a sine qua non or an essential thing for your spiritual goal, unfortunately, the gurus in the marketplace who are selling that enlightenment invented this thing called tantric experience and use that as a means to achieve your spiritual goal.
Right, it's either tantric here or abstinence there, and what you're saying
both
is
are the same. They are totally unrelated to the question of enlightenment. When once you see the question of enlightenment or the demand for an enlightenment is freed from sex totally, either as a means to it or the denial of it as a means to it, we can look at it in a different way and ask the question, is there any such thing as enlightenment at all? We have accepted, taken for granted that there is such a thing as enlightenment, but we never questioned that, because when once you question the whole idea of enlightenment, or as you put it, the concept of enlightenment, we are questioning the teachers who have talked about it, and we have invested our tremendous faith in them. So the sentiment comes into the picture, and we accept that as a gospel truth.
Well, yes, we have this notion of the great sages of antiquity in many different cultures have written and talked about higher states of consciousness and enlightenment.
That is true, but I am questioning the very consciousness itself. Is there any such thing as consciousness? That is my question. So you become conscious of yourself and the world around you only through the help of the knowledge that is given to us by these so-called sages, saints and saviors of mankind. So is it possible for you to be conscious of anything without the help of that knowledge? So we have to question the very thing that we have taken for granted. We are very naive and to accept it, and then you see spend the whole lifetime in search of whatever you want to have, it enlightenment, God realization, self-realization, or what you have.
In other words, it seems as if there's a paradox here, because on the one hand, our consciousness, it seems as if it leads us to question the tradition, the so-called truths that are handed down to us, and you're saying, but without that tradition, without those truths, we would have no consciousness.
You know, that is part of the structure of our thinking. You see, unfortunately, the thought has divided itself into two and created, you see, this duality or the neurotic situation for us. The whole culture teaches us that you should not compete. Competition is to be eschewed. Ambition is something which you should not, you see, have.
Spiritual teachings tend to say this. that-
Spiritual teachings, yes, always.
I mean,
demand-
certainly in
demand-
athletics and in
demand-
capitalism, there
sorry.
is this sense of
Demand
competition.
that you should be free from ambition, you should be free from greed, you should be free from this, that, and the other. But at the same time, ambition is absolutely necessary for survival in the society in which we are functioning today. So it is that has created the neurotic situation for us. We want pleasure, and at the same time we know that the pleasure is giving us pain. So the demand for permanence is the basic demand of thought. It is interested in permanence. The permanence not of this living organism, but the permanence of the continuity of thought. So the body knows in a way that it is permanent. You see, not in the sense in which we know that this is permanent, that is not permanent, but that knowledge is of a peculiar kind that it knows it is permanent. So it is not interested in the idea that this is coming to an end one day, you see. So the one that is involved in this pleasure movement is the one that is asking the question, what will happen to this living organism when it dies? You see, for the body there is no such thing as death at all. So because it has no way of experiencing the fact that it is alive at this moment and that it is dead after 60, 70, 80 or 100 years at all.
Are you saying then that the body doesn't die, but what about the spirit?
That is the belief, the self, the soul, the spirit, and whatever you want to call it is invented by thought. And it is that thought that is responsible for experiencing this, what we call thought, because what you call self, spirit or soul or whatever you want to call. I don't want to indulge in the frivolity of the root meaning of the words. You see, you know, the Latin word, spirit is a Latin word.
They have to do with breathing, generally.
It means breathing. So you have observed, you see, a certain individual stop breathing, and that condition you described it as death. So the fact that you see the breathing stop, you want to know if there is anything that will continue after death. You see, it is that is interested in demanding to know what will survive this condition of the body which is called death.
Yeah, I mean, I would tend to think that my body will not survive, my body will decay, but perhaps my ability to experience at some level will survive.
But can you experience your body while you are living now? You see, if one wants to know anything about death, he has to find out what is it that is there now and not wait until what we call the death that takes place.
Would you kindly elaborate on that?
There is no point in my saying that there is no such thing as consciousness, but what do you have to say on that subject? Do you believe that there is consciousness? How do you become conscious of things?
Through consciousness.
No, through the knowledge you have of the things. You know, the sensory perceptions do not tell you anything. You see, as I was saying the other day, if there is no light, you can't see anything here. It's total darkness. The reflection of the light activates the optic nerves and throws an image on the retina. This is what we are told by the physiologists, but you have no way of actually experiencing even what they are saying. They can take you to a laboratory and give a knock here and say that this is the stimulus and the response is to this stimulus. But actually, there is no way you can separate the stimulus and response. It is one unitary movement. So when this image is cast on the retina, which is like a mirror, you do not know what it is. So in this process, it also activates the neurons in the brain, which is memory, and tells you what it is. But there is a very, very, very small gap between the two. People imagine that the thoughts are very fast, but actually they are very slow. But the physical perceptions are so fast and so quick, there is no time for that to capture and contain and give expression to it. It will tell you that this is a tape recorder, that's a video camera, that's a woman, that's a man, that is white, that is black. There is no time for that at all, you see. So for some reason, you have to maintain your identity, or you or I, or whatever you want to call yourself, all the time. So you always demand to experience the same thing over and over and over again. It is that is wearing you out. It is using tremendous amounts of energy. So much so you don't have any energy to deal with the problems of living in this world. So going back to the question of consciousness, you become conscious of that only through the knowledge you have of that. If that knowledge is absent, unfortunately the knowledge is there all the time. What you call you is nothing but the totality of knowledge. The you, as you know yourself, structure of Vedantic thought. Because it is that creates the subject. There is no such thing as a permanent entity here at all. Anybody there is no center, there is no I, there is no entity there. So this camera is operated by the things that are happening outside there. So when the eyes are focused on something there, it is that red light, whatever is there in that red light, is the one that is demanding complete to total attention in that frame. And then you are moving your fingers, it has moved from there to here. So you are the one that is operating the camera here, and there is no cameraman or a camera woman here who is operating the camera. I'm going to give you a talk. So when once you are lucky to be freed, I don't want to use the word free, quote and unquote, for purposes of communication, I might as well use the word free, from the totality of man's thoughts and experiences. What you are left with is this living organism with a tremendous sensitivity of its own. All the sensory perceptions function at their peak capacity, and so there is no room for the thought to interfere and to translate every sensation within the framework of the knowledge you have of the particular objects you are looking at or the particular things that are happening there inside of you.
That means it's like a kid, that is just newborn kid.
We don't know how the kids function.
No, because
we say,
kid is not superimposed with education or something. So it may not know this is his hand.
yes.
So
So it does not mean that I do not know. All the knowledge that is put in there in the computer is there available when there is a demand. It is not a self-operating computer. You are operating the computer here.
Yeah.
The printout is yours. You are asking the question, for example, show me your hand. So a hand it is. I say it is my hand because I have to say that it is not your hand, it is my hand for purposes of communication. There is no way I can identify this with my own hand, myself, and say this is my hand, except when you ask the question, show me your hand, I show this. Whose hand it is my hand. Any grander purpose other than, say, the garden slug out there or mosquito that is sucking your blood. But we are made to believe by our culture that we are created for some specific and grander purpose. Manava Janma Durlabham. Structure of Hindu thought is built on that foundation. And the whole creation is created for our benefit. And that is why we have created and still creating all these ecological problems, the problems of pollution of waters. You have all kinds of slogans everywhere, don't pollute the waters, because will have to eat that pollution or some such thing. So there is no way out of that. Individually, probably you can solve your own problem for yourself by yourself. Collectively, there isn't a chance. This is not awareness that I am talking about. This is a response to his question.
But response can come
If I
from
remain
you without
silent,
awareness.
if I remain silent, it would be worse. He will read something into the silence there.
Yeah, this is a problem.
You want that to come to an end? You can't be interested
So
in
let
what-
the interpretation go on.
It will go on whether you like it or not. And when that comes to an end, the death takes place. If that comes to an end, now you will drop dead.
Yes, but at the same time, it said there's an intelligence for the organism which we are interfering with by interpreting.
By interpreting
So what-
everything, there is nothing that you can do. What can you do?
No, I want to leave. I want to go rather flow with the intelligence of the organism. How can I do that? How can I do that?
There is somebody there trying to flow with the flow of things.
So is that
That
an
is
eternal
separating
me?
you.
Is there an eternal me then?
No,
No?
the answer is no. You don't have to do a thing. Whatever you do is separating you from the flow of things.
But I am the flow. If I am the flow of the things.
If what is, you see, stop there. If you are free from the known, assuming for a moment that you are, there's a claim which has no basis, you see, except we swallow that nonsense. You cannot describe that state. That was my problem with Shankara also in India. I studied Advaita Vedanta, that was my special subject, you see. And I questioned this, you see. A non-dual state can never be described by anybody. And why did that bastard Shankara describe that? Same. This is a marketable commodity. The love, you see, you have to sell love, you know. And some instruments to capture those sounds, but how far they go, we don't know. Whatever we are saying is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker as they move away. It's not destroyed by anything. So all those people who talked in those days, probably those voices are still there, and maybe we'll be able to capture them and listen to that, but we will not be able to recognize the voice of any particular person. But that is possible. You see, it may not happen in our lifetime. If we continue to live for some more centuries, some of these days, one of these days, they will find out something and capture. So the sound can create the picture. That is an explanation I am giving. And also another thing, in the same coffee plantation, I told you this story. If I want to suppress these things, I wouldn't talk about them. You see, I was lying there, all of a sudden, that was the last vision I had. You see, after all those sages and saints were thrown out of my system, marching into the saints is what they say, and all the saints marched out of my system. The last thing to go was this. It's very strange. And I saw a pond there. 3 great rishis there lifting up their hands like this. We are your ancestors, save us, we are sinking. You see, the 3 rishis, I related that, Atreya, Satyanana, Sisavasya, 3 rishis, they didn't say that. We are your ancestors, you can't let us sink. We are sinking, you bastards. You deserve that. Because you. There is nothing to get, nothing to get. I am giving this simile, those bastards put me on a merry-go-round. I was so disgusted with that, going on and on and on and on. I didn't have the guts to jump off. I was frightened. Luckily, I was thrown off, right? You see, if you are not frightened, this body is like a dog, soft and lands. And then I walked away. I wouldn't even tell you guys, you will not be hurt. They will be definitely hurt. The fear stiffens your body. I am telling you. Those monkeys falling from the top of the trees, they just get up and go away. I'm telling you. So you are frightened. I was frightened, so how can I tell you? Jump off, nothing will happen. So I walked away. Finish. Bye-bye. If you are lucky, you will be thrown off. That luck is not like the woman who is sitting there buying tickets every week. You are not going to get it. From that moment onwards, you want to pray, hope, believe that you will get 8 million or 18 million or whatever it is. You know?
It was 14.
That is not the only word that I can use, luck, because I do not know of any other word. You see, it is not in that sense. I am just lucky to be thrown off, and everything everybody said went out of my system. Everything, every thought, every feeling, every experience. So I am not interested in freeing you from that. You are not going to be free. Everything I have said so far belongs to, everything I have belongs to everybody.
Yes.
Nobody can hold on and you see, create archives, keep it, and then you see for posterity, there is no posterity as far as I am concerned. If it has not helped you, it's not going to help anything. If it helped you, you wouldn't sit there, you wouldn't express your thankfulness and gratitude to me. I will not feel good because you see, your encounter with me has helped you to come into this state. What state? As I always say, only state was Karnataka state, Maharashtra state, no other state, I am telling you. Sorry. Nobody should be in possession of anything. Whatever you have written is your property. I am not going to ask you that you should not have rights for whatever you have said. Right? But whatever I say, whatever I have, whatever I own belongs to everybody. And think that you are superior to me because you are a Swami. What have you renounced? You have not renounced anything. And the second thing is, they pick up new jargon, new language, use them and feel great. Right, that's all. Remember those jokers that came, use those words, Krishnamurti and Lingo. Huh? Not the Sanskrit phrases, but what's the difference? A truly religious man does not want anything for himself. But it is the responsibility of you all to see that my teaching, he didn't say the teaching, should be preserved for posterity in its pristine purity. So give liberally to my cause.
I see. He added that.
Sure, he sent cards. You see, he was brought up in not wealthy conditions, you see. He didn't have anything, you see, in his life in the early years. Here it's the other way around, you see. Buddha was born, you see,
He's a king.
as a king, so they didn't, anything I
Whatever he
wanted,
wanted, he had.
anything I wanted, I could have had anything in the world. I had, as a matter of fact, everything that one could reasonably ask for. If I wanted to buy a Rolls-Royce car, just in a jiffy, by writing a check on Imperial Bank of India, I could buy, you see. So they never interested. Money was not, in that sense, a
Never felt the lack of that.
primary, what is that word, sir, Bob? My language is fine.
Concern.
Demand, no, I don't get the right word. Don't bother, we mystify by not using the right. That was not my interest. Money, see, I knew how you could make money. If I had dedicated myself to money, I would have been the world's richest man. World's richest. All the billionaires in the United States, nowhere, pale and insignificant. That was not my interest. My only interest was to be certain that Buddha was a con man. You see, when people around you, you see, claimants, are not really the genuine people, you see. There is a dichotomy in their lives. What they said and what they were in actual life, in reality, intrigued me. I didn't call them dishonest people or any such thing. So if the teaching produced me, it doesn't help me in any way, the teacher must be wrong. You see, you don't blame usually the teachers, you exonerate them. The teacher is not responsible for that. You have not done it enough, you have not done the things in a right way, so you exonerate the teacher. No, I was not interested. If that teaching runs counter to the way I am functioning, something wrong. You know, if I am not jealous, something wrong with me, you see. I am full of jealousy, I am full of greed, and you are talking of a state that doesn't exist at all. You claim that you are in that state. I don't see that you are operating that way. You know, I am very close to them. As I say that I was always surrounded by such people. I lived in the company of, sages, saints, saviors of mankind who claim to be murderers, rapists, conmen, thieves, everybody. Any day, I opt for their company and not the spiritual people. There is some sort of integrity in them. They know exactly what they want and they don't mince matters. And so you see the teachers, no degree, I never accepted one of degree.
Because normally...
No, if you say one of degree, you have destroyed the possibility of going to the end, you know. Degree never interested.
Fellow fails in this exam, he has to study hard.
That's a different matter. You see, you don't know how to operate that through repetitive process.
Yes.
You learn how to operate, you improve it, you modify it. That is how the whole technology came into existence.
So one cannot
through a repetitive
change
process.
himself like that.
No, not at all. This I discovered when I was very young. So thought is the instrument to put me in a thoughtless state. So not interested in that at all. This cannot be the instrument, you know. How can this be the instrument? Tomorrow, the day after. So the teachers are false. And then go to the source. These are all the claimants.
Everybody was caught up in that game, that in the process of evolution, thinking
You
that
hope
we are
evolution
slowly...
doesn't exist. There may not be any such thing as evolution. You can throw out all evolutionists and much less in the field of spirituality. There you see it creates a hierarchical structure.
Yes.
I am far superior to others.
Yes.
You become a rightful principal master, this, that in the second degree, third degree, you become a arhat. What nonsense is this arhats? You know, they fight amongst themselves.
Now, how you freed yourself from that kind of conditioning?
Don't use that word conditioning. What do you mean conditioning?
This is not conditioning.
What exactly do you mean by conditioning?
Because everybody, everywhere we see that this continuous process of learning is there.
But you don't understand one basic thing, that this is also conditioning you in a different way.
Which one?
Whatever you are doing to uncondition yourself is for conditioning you in a different way.
Yes.
So that is important for me. Whether you are conditioned the ancient way or modern way or Krishnamurtian way, see, you may talk of unconditioned mind, but he doesn't operate like a man living in a state of unconditioned mind. So if you talk of the experience of a silent mind, what is he talking about? How can you experience a silent mind and then describe that as love, bliss, beatitude, immensity? Not at all interested in that. What is, you say? And then why do you describe that as love, bliss, beatitude and immensity? That's the sales pitch. That's what you are interested in. So he is selling you that. So he has created just a structure of thought. Nothing else is there. So you reject. You know. So you go to the source. They themselves were con men, you see, conned themselves and conned the whole of mankind. So then the next question is, why do I con myself? All of them are con men, not one single exception. Those who were there before me, those who are there with me today, around me, and the teachers yet to be born. You see, yet to be born. They will be con men.
That means they con themselves. They fool themselves.
Yes.
That they are going somewhere and reaching somewhere.
That they have
Reached
come
somewhere.
into a state like whatever it is, unconditioned mind, transformed individual. So there is nothing here to be transformed. Why the hell you are talking about radical transformation, radical mutation? Why the hell you are talking about? No? Why? I ask him these questions. He didn't have any answers. He was giving the answers of a politician, neither confirmed nor denied. I'm not interested in that. So, if you are, I would have asked Ramana Maharshi also, did you, by posing this question to yourself, who am I, got into that enlightened state? I asked Jai Krishnamurti, you are taking all these people on bogus chartered flights. They call them bogus chartered flights, journeys. You got into that state of a transformed individual through this step by step, logically? No, he said. Then why the hell you are talking about it? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, he told me, the joker. You don't find all that in his teachings. Whatever was convenient, he put it in that book. That's all. Anything that anybody said against him or attacked him.
Because he believed that is the only way.
He believed that, I tell you, he never freed himself from the world teacher business. Never.
Why you come here, why you listen to me, is because you are still fitting me into that framework, and my actions do not fit into that framework. And so, you condemn me. You understand? I cannot fit myself into that framework.
No, I don't condemn you. Your actions.
My actions is, why you are not very sympathetic, why you are not humane.
Yeah, that is. Why you are not soft?
Why you are not soft, weak and gentle towards somebody.
Yeah. Why
your kindness, your humaneness, your softness, your love, they are all bogus. That's all that I am saying. It doesn't operate in your life.
What you are saying, you are not operating there.
No.
That's why it's hard.
That is why it is, you don't know what you will do.
So, the false me is the real me.
You are trying to,
the false
you
me
are
is the
trying
real
to give the impression to yourself and to others
I'm real.
what you are not.
So the false
what you
me
would
is
like to be. Yes. So that is why I say it is easy for us to get along with a selfish man like me, because it is here that he will understand that I cannot get away with my selfishness. You understand?
So is it right to say?
You say that you are a selfless man. You are not a selfless man. You are going to be a selfless man. Tomorrow, until then, you will remain worse than a selfish man like me. So there can't be any relationship between you and me. Right?
So the false me is the real me? The false me is the real me.
The me is false.
False. The
That
me
is
is
what
false.
the culture has put in it. This is not false. The functioning of the body cannot be false. The biological sex cannot be false. But biological sex, you see, is not the way you are using that.
No.
No.
I'm using it as a pleasure thing.
Yes. No, I'm not using it. Then I put all the other things on the same thing.
Yeah.
God is an extension of pleasure. Moksha is an extension of pleasure. Because they are offering you permanent pleasure, permanent happiness, eternal bliss, eternal happiness. They don't exist.
It's an extended orgasm.
Exactly.
The eternal, God is the eternal orgasm.
Yes.
Yeah, till I brush everything aside, I can't.
No question of
myself.
brushing aside. Brushing aside, you can only replace that with another nonsense. You can't really brush anything outside. You have to replace it with something else.
What do you mean by really?
Why do they all have their names? Sushma, this name, other name.
What do you really mean by brushing aside, sir?
There is no way you can brush anything aside. You have to replace it with something else. You call it brushing aside. Without replacing, there is no brushing aside.
But you are not replaced anything, sir.
What do you mean?
How did you brush?
I haven't brushed anything aside. What are you talking? You presume that I have brushed aside everything. No.
You told that
it cannot influence my actions.
You told it you have brushed it aside.
That is a way of putting things, you see. You have to brush it aside means it. I know that you cannot brush it aside.
What is there is all that is there. It was there. It's no, you can't draw a line and say the way he described me, before and after. Before and after is only the surf. Wash. Before wash and after wash.
Well, that's what happened. But they have experienced something.
They can experience, as he himself admitted, it's subjective. No. There is no such thing as objectivity at all. Everything is subjective. Even in my case, it is subjective. When UG is there, all his prejudices, personal likes, dislikes, predilections, everything is there. No such thing as an unconditioned mind. Conditioning will not go, but conditioning cannot influence your actions. There is no action at all. The actions are all reactions, all your actions, all your likes, dislikes, everything reactions.
In your case?
Even if I am reacting like anybody else. All my likes, dislikes, prejudices, personal things, they are all there. They cannot...
They are all reactions. No action is there.
That is the only action, whether I am acting or you are acting or anybody is acting. It's a reaction. There is no action at all. Not spontaneous, pure action. All that is absolute rubbish.
Action never exists.
Never, doesn't exist.
In anyone's case.
In
anybody.
That's all. They can claim all those things. Pure action, spontaneous action. You see, it cannot be separated, you see. Stimulus and response is one unitary movement. It is not that nonsense they talk, oneness of life, unity of life. You cannot be separated from what you are looking at. You see, unless you know what you are looking at, you cannot say that that is a tree. The physical eye does not see that as a round tree. It is flat because it is focused on only one side. If you say that the tree is round, it is born out of your imagination here, not the tree is round. You can take me there, take me round and show that it is round. All that is useless. The physical eye, I am sitting here, it sees the tree as flat. Everything, all that is like, you see the painting there. There is no depth there, no matter who says what. The physical eye, I am talking about the physical eye, can not see the depth at all. You see, you are sitting in front, all those, you see that frame, it doesn't see, this all one, you see the trees there in the back. It is very close, you cannot say that that is far away from the window.
And what about the concept of distance, sir?
It's all, distance is only measurements.
If you can't see the depth, how can you walk safely, sir? You will fall.
When you go there, no, you will not fall. The body is more intelligent. It knows how to protect itself. There, you see, you move away from the wall. Not sit here and say that the wall is there, you are going to hit your head.
That's what we do.
Nothing is there. Only when you are there, automatically you turn.
We are going to decide.
Like a water flowing, there is a rock, either it flows over or sideways. That is how all your actions are. You don't think before sitting.
Never plan anything.
No. I have to plan certain things.
Even that.
4th I am going to Madras, we are saying 17th Tuesday. There is no guarantee. I may drop dead. Something can happen in between. Where is the guarantee?
Then why was the
law of
depth perception brought into
averages?
this?
Why you give importance to, sorry?
Why was the depth perception, third dimension brought into
We are all taught. Yeah.
Why, sir?
The fear, the mother teaches everything, you see. Don't go there.
Yeah, how does it come about?
Because this mechanism that is translating it all the time, selectivity is there, censorship is there. And so it is not recording, you see. You see, recording is taking place without all that. You see, that you are the problem, not the tape recorder is recording everything. You see, regardless of your ideas of selectivity, and so these are two different things. This listening mechanism is not listening to anything. You see, listening means a translation. The translator is there all the time. Somehow this fellow comes and goes. You see, it doesn't mean that I don't know. You see, when you walk in, you see, I recognize you. The moment I recognize you, I can say that you are whatever you are. And then it is gone. You see. So, it's not why do I have to tell myself, you are also functioning in exactly the same way. All of us, all the human bodies are functioning in exactly the same way.
Why do you say thought is only sound? Why not light, sir?
The sound and light are interchangeable, sir.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
say that it's audio visual. Why only audio?
I'm not saying that. If you want to create an image out of those words,
Yes,
you see, like you can go into a laboratory today and put this to test. You see, they are interchangeable. That is why you have images of all these gods, goddesses, godlets walking hand in hand with you.
First time somebody has used the word godlet. I don't think they have read any letter. It's
Little kids, you see. Born to the gods and goddesses, they call them godlets, gods and goddesses. You see, you already have an image of that. You create an image. So that is all right. That's what I am saying. Your wife, your daughter is sitting there. You may be looking at I may be looking at my daughter. Never do I tell myself that is my daughter. If you ask me who is she, that is my daughter. Cut again. So the situation is the same again. So we had this problem with Valentine. Immediately after this, I was looking at the cow. My situation is exactly the same. But at that time, in the beginning, it was the problem for me. So what is that Valentine? That is cow. And after another second, what is that Valentine cow? She was so disgusted with this. That is cow. How many times do I have to say? It went on and on and on and on. Now I don't ask anybody because this has gotten into that rhythm of life. So even if I ask myself, who is he? Yes, the answer comes.
Did you relearn everything? Did you relearn everything?
No, not necessary.
No,
there is no need to relearn anything because all that is there, whatever you want to call it, is computer or memory. So I quoted yesterday something that I memorized 65 years ago, but it is there. You know, in a given situation, it comes out. So because you are adding more and more and more knowledge, it is going down. It is always there. When once it is recorded, like the message there, 100 years it will live, even if you cut off. Probably there is some way you can reactivate a dead body back to life, all that will come back. I don't know. I can't say any definitive statements about that. See, I'm not competent enough. Maybe that possibility is there. You see, what you call life is like the electricity, you know. That is the energy. Life's energy, that is all that is. You will you can never experience life at all. The living thing cannot be experienced by the experiencing structure. See, what happened in my case, accidentally I stepped on the live wire. That's all. Then it burns. Live wire. It burns the whole thing. Everything that is there is a living thing. Your jealousy, I was talking about your jealousy. You will never know what jealousy is, I am telling you. See, you are dealing with how to be free from jealousy and not jealousy. Because you have been fooled by people that you should not be jealous, that you should be free from jealous. I am telling you, if you have a beautiful wife, if people want to snatch her away from you or make passes at her, you must be proud that you have a beautiful wife. Everybody is making passes at your beautiful wife and then they want to snatch her away. You must be proud. But why do you say that you are jealous? It is not jealousy.
But here comes the fear of losing, sir.
It is possessiveness. You think you possess that child, money, knowledge, but not a living thing. You can never possess a living person.
Eugene,
yes.
You said we were talking the other day about sorrow.
I didn't. He was.
Yeah, he brought it up, but you said it like comes through the generations. Is that what you had said?
You are listening to all that crap on the ending of sorrow. that fellow is not free from the sorrow. Otherwise, he wouldn't talk about that. Whoever is talking of the experience of a silent mind. It's all bullshit. Nothing else. What is the sorrow you are talking about?
You know, you keep on saying something which I'm battling with every now and then, as it's not there.
What is it that
is there?
What is there? You tell me.
My frustration is concrete, real. My sorrow is concrete, real. And you just say it's not there.
Where is it?
It is there inside me.
You are just talking about
it is there.
Because it is not there, that vehemence is coming.
So it is there.
No,
I feel
listen.
it.
It's not
I
there.
feel it.
No, where?
I feel it inside my body as a physical ache. I feel
No, but
it.
it is throwing out that nonsense.
No, it is there.
It is not there.
Frustration, the
Where is that
sorrow
frustration?
is in the body.
No, it's not there.
It is there in the body.
No,
And
it
you
is
say
not.
it's not there.
Where is it?
Inside this body, it is there.
It is throwing out. You see.
What is throwing out?
It is not throwing out. You are just talking about it. It is not there.
It is there.
No, you say that it is there. I say it is not there. That's the end of the conversation. Finish.
For you, it
I
is
don't.
not there.
For you also, it is not
For me,
there.
it is there.
You are just talking about that
It
nonsense.
is there for me. It is there for everyone.
I don't say that.
But
How is it expressing itself?
You're the only person in whom it seems to not be there.
No. It's not. It is not there.
That is why a man like J. Krishnamurti or a writer like that
You go
makes
there.
more sense to me than you.
Yes, certainly.
His frustration makes more sense to me. I can relate to that frustration.
He was a frustrated
Not to
bastard.
you.
No, why the hell?
Not to you. You don't seem to understand what
I
we are talking about.
understand you.
No, I don't think so.
No.
You say there's no sorrow, there's no despair, there's no frustration.
Why the hell you are still trying to be free from that frustration?
That's what my whole tragedy is. I'm still trying to.
Why you are still? Who is that? You have no problems.
Downstairs, they didn't call me.
What you are dealing with is
That's the point. I have no problems. Then what?
solution.
Then what? If there is no problem, then what?
Only the solution given by those bastards you are dealing with, not the problem.
Okay. No, then if it is...
That is not the solution.
It's not about problem what he's talking about.
No, it is the solution he has offered for your non-existing problem that you are dealing with. All those bastards.
Ask Jed.
Starting with
He's the only
Jesus.
one I've been in kind of contact with.
Huh?
Yeah, and he was saying that there is nothing like frustration, that we are all blissed out, we are all silenced, we are all something that is there and we are just not able to feel it. And then what? You're saying exactly the opposite.
Yeah. Yes.
So what? So
So
what
what?
is the truth? What is the point?
What is the point? I'm asking you.
Yeah, but why is he spending sleepless night? Why am I spending sleepless night? Why we all look like
You are the one that
like chicken here, sitting and looking at you like that? Why? This I know, because otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here.
You say I know, but what is it that you are doing about idiocy?
I don't know. I'm doing nothing. I'm doing nothing. I'm here, like
You are saying
listening
that-
to you with eyes popping out
No,
and
no,
listening to you.
You say that you are an idiot.
No, you said that, and I confirm it.
What is it that you are doing about your idiocy? Is there any word like idiocy? You are an idiot. What are you doing?
About it? Well, I mean,
No, don't bring her into the picture.
It is not into the picture.
Yes,
What?
yes.
And money, her, money, you.
Yes.
That's all.
Don't include me.
Just include yourself.
Include yourself. Leave her alone.
But it's true what Mahesh say, because I mean, I've been talking with him. Remember the morning I walked in and I said, "What is it?" And his frustration, sir, down the
You
bottom,
are just
his frustration.
You see, what is that frustration you are talking about?
What is it? It's
Yeah,
like being
put it-
able, being unsatisfied with what I have.
Yeah.
Have nothing in the future that can pull me to do things.
Right. What is it that you are doing?
Your state is falsifying me. You say the frustration is not there.
Yes.
I'm being frustrated. Your state is falsifying me.
No, not at all.
You say there's no frustration.
No.
I say it's frustration.
You are just talking.
Of course, your state is falsifying
Make a
me.
movie and make money.
No,
there.
you have no idea what we are feeling, and you say there is no frustration.
You are. I
You
don't.
ask Robert. That's what we're talking about. Ask Mario.
Yeah, all of you can get together.
You can sit down and say. You can sit
Yeah,
down.
okay, when we
Yeah, you can down and say there's no
Dance
frustration.
together in the streets. All the frustrated
Yeah, but
bastards
I mean,
there.
sir, we are at the point that when we talk together, nobody
You
has
go
anything
there.
to say, and nobody has anything to say. We look into each other's eyes and we are all
no,
talking
go to
each other.
the
Nobody's
tennis court
listening.
is free. All you bastards full of frustration. Go and dance and sing there about your frustration. And make a movie about that.
What about opening a restaurant?
That is better than talking about all this nonsense.
And then have the climax.
And then you can feed them people.
Okay, how about physics?
What physics?
Does when we were talking the other morning, and Mahesh was talking about frustration and sorrow.
Why you are talking? You know you are mechanically
Okay,
repeating.
forget it.
Just
Okay.
listen. You really are not talking anything. You are just saying frustration, frustration, frustration. They are all empty words.
Okay. The energy in the body.
No,
that-
you are just repeating
What?
that nonsense.
That's
Where
not what I want.
I
That's
don't
what I-
see there anything except these empty words. I'm frustrated, I'm frustrated, I'm frustrated. And you
Okay.
put more energy into that.
Okay, let's drop that.
And then nothing else to talk about it.
But
If frustration
you
is-
say you're living the natural
Don't
state.
bother about me. I'm talking about you.
But you say that that's the natural way that the body, everybody's body, naturally would live.
It is throwing it out because it has no place for that.
It's like you say, there's some level of hope
Yes,
that there will be a change.
that there will be a change.
Because I'm not satisfied the way
When? Yes.
that I'm living.
Yes. Why you are not satisfied with
And-
the way you are living? This body is interested in eating and fucking, nothing else.
Because I'm
To live
comparing
and
the
to
way I'm living to
reproduce.
you.
Nothing else is there. So anything you are saying about the body is totally unrelated, not interested. It's a shit throwing out.
But then why after your calamity you stop talking?
Don't worry about that, you see.
Yeah,
Don't.
but I mean, you're saying that, but then I mean, the reality is that.
Is that then why you don't do it? Why you are making it a big thing? Why you are choosing a particular bitch to shit? All holes are the same. Why there is a choice?
Yeah,
for
but what
it?
happened to you that?
Don't bother about what happened to me. Nothing happened to me. You read wrong books.
And
So is UG, is choice the problem?
Hmm?
Is choice the problem?
What choice?
So the body, you say, has a way.
Leave that body alone. It's not interested in choice. Not interested in anything you are interested in, what you call you. So, what is the hope you are talking about? Hope is related to something. Hope, what? You hope that one day you will get what? What do you want to get?
To be, if I'm honest, what
You are dishonest,
when I-
Pastor.
okay, so I'm a dishonest person, of course, because
Yeah,
I'm
it's all
here.
right with me. So don't move further from there. No further movement is necessary. You say, I'm an idiot, I'm a dishonest man. What is it that you are doing about it? It doesn't mean anything. There must be some action there.
But for me to take the action and walk out that door
you
doesn't
will
make
go
a damn difference if I stay here or walk out.
No, you will
I'll be
go
the same
somewhere else.
person.
You will go somewhere else.
That's what I mean.
Fine, go.
I don't want to go someplace
Then
else. But my question, which
Yeah.
you'll cut,
Yeah.
was: does the body? You say that you're only the body. You're not some spirit. You're not something else.
Yeah, then
There's
what?
no-
Why do you act?
Because I'm asking.
Listen, where do you go from there? No argument there. Either you have to accept this totally or walk out. That's all. Nothing else.
I accept.
No, you say I accept.
No,
What does it mean?
I accept that you're living the way you say.
No, what I accept does not mean anything. What is the action there? I accept. There is no room for one more word there. I accept, but you continue to do that. You are just continuing to talk. I accept, I accept, I accept. You think you are fooling me?
But I don't know how you're living.
Yes. Why are you
How can
concerned
I
about my living?
How can I stop? How can I stop the movement of that thought all
How
the time?
means you want to
I
know.
do want to know.
You want to know.
I'm not lying. I do want to know.
Yeah, I am not the person to put all that shit in you. Go somewhere else. All that they have done and put there in you is that shit. How? The how has to go.
But I'm lying if I sit here and say I don't want to know. It's a lie. The body doesn't have a natural
Just
intelligence.
forget about it. It has intelligence, and what is the point?
But the point was, my main question was, doesn't, because the body, like the way that you're living is a natural intelligence.
The way I'm living is like the dog there.
Right.
Are
Okay.
you ready?
So the dog
No
and you,
further conversation necessary. All that is coming out of me is the barking of a dog. Nothing else. You are the one that is making this barking, turning this barking into a language, English language. You are taught how to space this barking that is come out of this individual. The individual does not even know that he is saying things in English. He doesn't know. And you want to know. I cannot be of any help there. Try somebody else. Good luck to you. Go anywhere, do anything you like. That's the only thing that I'm saying. All frustration, right? Poetry, some nonsense, romantic stuff. What frustration? What is it that you are doing? I don't see any frustration. I have frustration. What the hell you are talking about? Not getting what you want. That is the frustration. What is it that you want? You want to be free from frustration.
Yeah.
Huh? Then you want me to tell you how I can be free from frustration. That is the one that keeps the frustration there. The how is related to the frustration. So you don't want to be free from frustration. You want to live with it, romanticize it, and make movies and make money. Sit on a platform and talk about it. Don't condemn it, don't justify it, don't identify yourself with the frustration. Be choicelessly aware of that. One who is choicelessly aware of that frustration is the frustration. There is no frustration other than that bastard's statement, choicelessly aware of frustration. That is the frustration. Because you will never be free from that. That's a joke. Be choicelessly aware of frustration. Just to look at it. That doesn't exist. This is the only thing that exists. These empty words that you have picked up somewhere else. That's all. So you don't want to be free from that. If you are really interested in freeing yourself from that which you are not, that shit must go.
Is there something before the words?
Yeah?
Like thought?
What?
There was a here today.
Go and listen to that. That joker says.
Well, he did. In one thing, he was talking about.
Why are you talking about? What do you have to say?
Well, my question that
What he said you will.
What is thought?
Huh?
What is this thing called? Thoughts.
No thoughts. Either you swallow this statement and repeat it, or that bastard's statement. There are only thoughts but no thinker. I am saying that there are no thoughts. Forget about the thinker. What do you do? Where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? How do you look at the thought? Look at it. The word is not the thing. The word is the thing. You can sit here and great philosophers can discuss everlastingly. There is a thing, some object is there, something is there. Huh? You can all that bullshit, you see. That's all. Recognition and naming. You cannot recognize anything without naming, no matter who says what. Either you repeat that nonsense or pick up these new phrases from here and repeat it. What do you want to do? That's all that you can do, nothing else.
But you don't deny that there's in fact electrical impulses in the brain.
All right, even if they are, those jokers are writing in the Time magazine, what they look at is what they want to look at it. And create some theory out of that nonsense and get a Nobel Prize. Nothing else. You are translating those vibrations.
So there may be no correlation, no cause and effect between these electrical impulses and what we call thought.
Yes, that's all. You translate it. How do you translate that implication? Vibrations. And those jokers, you see, were recording the vibrations of a fellow who is meditating, fellow who has taken drugs. And that is the one, the real one that is registering. The silence is not the nature. You are interested in meditation. You want to prove to the world that this machine is registering the silence, the quietness, and the one who has taken drugs is registering this, whatever it is. So you condemn this and praise that. Fine. How are they translating those vibrations, assuming for a moment there are vibrations there. You are translating that into the framework of this bastard's knowledge because he's interested in establishing a theory and getting a Nobel Prize. He is not honest enough, that bastard. He doesn't know a damn thing about it, what he's talking about. Now you use a different language. There are vibrations. Where is the memory? Where is it located? Neurons. You read all that shit every day. Time magazine is full of that. Now they are going to have advertisements for orange juice and apartments everywhere in Europe, and also call girls telephone calls because they are not making money.
Time magazine.
Time magazine.
Newsweek too.
This week too?
No, Newsweek too is
Newsweek, yes. But I want only the call girls' telephone numbers. How do you look at it? How do you look at this one? How? You are not looking at it. No, you can't.
When everything is done.
You can never look. You have never looked at anything. You have never looked at anybody in this world, probably as a newborn baby. Without knowing what you are looking at, you cannot look at anything.
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's all right. Listen to all that shit. You see, the recognition, naming. Huh? There are only thoughts, no thinker.
Well, except for times when I thought I saw something.
You are not looking.
But
So
it's
why you
something
are
else.
what? Why
And
you are
realize
repeating?
it.
Why you are repeating all that nonsense? I'm just asking you a simple question.
Okay.
Not just look at the flower and listen to the river. That's not what I'm saying. That's romantic nonsense. You have never in your life looked at anything. I can guarantee that.
But something's
Without knowing what you are looking at. No, don't say something.
Well, I mean, Fuji, I can't deny that these eyes have.
Eyes are not
see
into.
more fuzzy now. That's for sure.
Eyes don't see a thing. Eyes are looking at something totally different. Not what you call table or a man or a woman. Nothing. The eye does not say that. You don't know how the physical eye is looking at anything.
That means at least 30 you will have.
No. You can sit there and talk. Recognition, naming. The word is not the thing. The thing is, what? That's for schoolboys in the philosophy class. Not for anybody else. It's nonsense that is. So you repeat. That's all. Nothing is done about it. That's all that I'm saying. I'm asking you a simple question. I don't have any thoughts. What is the point? The dictionary? Yes, certainly even the word bitch and bastard, I have to look at the dictionary, what it means. So thought, it's a definition given by those jokers. How do you look at the thought? Forget about anything else. I say there are no thoughts. All right, assuming for a moment that there are thoughts, where are they? Don't repeat all that nonsense you read in the Time magazine, the brain physiologists, the brain psychologists. It's a living for those bastards to invent theories, not to help you to. He himself does not know a damn thing of what he's looking at. He has to translate that and tell you it's a theory. Tomorrow somebody else comes along and says it's all rubbish. Huh?
Okay.
And he gets another Nobel Prize. And we are all fooled by those bastards, just the way we are all fooled by the religious man. Everybody is out to fool us because he is fooling himself. So we are not interested in that at all. What you have to say is very important for me. I have nothing to say. How come you have a lot of things to say? What you are saying is that garbage. What you are saying is no different from the garbage they put in those garbage cans. Somebody, my landlord, goes and collects everything. That's the way you collect all the garbage. From the scientists, from the philosophers, from the psychologists, because they have Nobel Prizes. They are written about in the Time magazine. They are on the cover page. They get prestigious awards. And some joker has 5,000 followers and repeat that. You never try even to look at it. I am asking you a simple question. You are talking of thought, no thoughts, no thinker. Because you are all the time talking about it, I am saying something about it. I am only saying, please, for goodness sake, tell me if you have anything to say about thought other than what they have said. I have nothing to say because I don't even know if there is a thought. I can say there is no thought because every time I looked at thought, when those jokers talked about it, what I found was about thought but not thought. About thought, I picked up from there, memorized from here, that is all. Where is it? How do you separate yourself from the definition and look at it? Forget about anything, thought and all that. How do you look at that? Where is it? He says it's there inside. He barks like a dog, that's all. He's no different from a dog or the grunting of a pig. You can put behind that lot of emotion. Where is it? You don't say that, it is there. Are you really interested in freeing from whatever is the frustration or whatever you are trying to be free from? What is it that you are doing? You are doing nothing. I accept. All right, you accept. Then what happens? What is the action of accepting? Adding this nonsense, putting there in the data bank, memory bank of the computer. Then it keeps coming up.
That's the way it functions.
Yeah,
So
then
what?
you accept it then. That's the end of the story. Finish.
There's a bunch of memory.
Then you are making a statement, that's all.
Well, that's what I said.
You can also say,
I walked down the trail today and memories come.
what memories?
I,
You are talking about memory, not knowing if there is any memory there.
what would I call a memory?
If you call it memory, somebody else calls it a thought, somebody else calls it something else. So, other than that, you are not interested in finding out. As long as you are repeating that nonsense, there is no way you can find out anything. If that is gone, there is no need for you to know anything about thought. You can give another definition. A cleverer man, a brighter man.
There's other, like a memory, as like a feeling attached.
What is it? Tell me something about memory. You say memory. How does it operate in you?
I don't know.
Then, why are you saying memory if you don't
That's
know?
what I've been taught to say. That's what it's taught to call. This
Yes.
thing that is something that I recognize supposedly from a past that is
Yes.
called memory.
Yes.
So
So
there
what-
is an impulse
why
that
is that-
comes up
why is
has
that-
sometimes a feeling in here, someplace
You
in here.
are saying that. You see, why do you have to recognize that as a woman? What for? At this moment. All right, that's memory, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't call her a man or a donkey or a pig, or I wouldn't call a pretty girl an ugly duckling. You see, all that we are taught. I know that. So why do you have to know what you are looking at, what you are feeling? That is all that I am asking. And how can I? How means you want to add more and more.
But I don't feel I always have to know. I don't know every name of
No, if you don't do it, you are preoccupied with something totally unrelated to the situation you find yourself in. Otherwise, you have got to look at it. You have got to look at it. Whether you name it or not is a different matter.
The process of recognizing is automatic.
You are not even recognizing. Where is that recognizing?
You say, I am not bored.
Yeah.
You function differently.
No.
I see I am bored. I want to be in your state. Your presence here creates an aspiration. What do I do?
Get out of here.
Then you say you should not want to change what
Don't replace anything else in the place of your man. Go there. Read all the books. Repeat all that. Go. Don't come here.